If you haven't noticed, everything is changing. The web design world is evolving and Divi is evolving alongside it thanks to the upcoming Divi AI agent that works with you inside the builder just like a human and can do everything that you can do autonomously. Since my last sneak peek, we added many new features, dozens of new abilities, rules, commands, context, message queuing, persistent chat history, custom model selection with every model under the sun, full layout generation in under 30 seconds, image attachments and vision support, access to proprietary Divi knowledge that can help you just like our support team does, and more. We plan to launch the beta in the next week or two. It's going to change everything. It will 10 times your workflow and give you the competitive edge you need to survive in this new world of AI-powered web design. There's still more to do. The AI agent is improving rapidly and will continue to do so, but even now its capabilities are impressive, so let me show you how it works. There are many new features to share, but instead of going through each one by one, I'm going to start off with a basic workflow to showcase some of them. So I'm going to create a new hero section for a cafe website. And instead of describing exactly what I want, I'm just going to drop in an image for reference and then tell the AI to create that hero section. So we added support for image attachments and vision, so the AI can now see that image. And it's also useful for dragging in images that you want to use to import to your media library and use within the design. So you can see here that the AI identified that it needs some images for this section. And here's what we're trying to build for reference. It knows it needs 4 images, so it's fetching 4 images, 4 stock photos to use. And by the way, I'm going to fast forward through these generation times for your benefit. So it completed that task. It found 4 images. Now it's going to pass off the work to the module agent to build the layout. And there we go. It built the layout, and I must say it looks quite a lot like the original image. It matched the fonts and the colors, and even found some of the same from Unsplash. And now it's asking me if I want to convert all of these colors into color variables. And so I'm going to do that. And now we have this finished design that pretty much matches my reference image exactly. It's created some global color variables, and now we can keep designing our website. The AI created variables for us, but I also want some presets. So I'm going to tell it to turn these modules into presets and create a new button, text, and heading preset. Another cool feature we added is the ability to queue commands. So while it's working, I'm already thinking about what I want to do next. And I want to create a new rule to always use these presets when these elements are added. And so that's another feature we added. And by the way, you can see the queued message here, which is going to execute after the agent is done with this task. So I'm going to create a rule, and rules are a new feature we added. And it basically allows you to tell the AI to do certain things in certain scenarios, or you can use it to, for example, add context about your website and your business, add proprietary knowledge, and basically do anything. So it's just a way to give the AI access to things and to tell it to do things in specific ways. So, to follow your brand guidelines and user specific colors and so on. So I'm going to tell it to create a new rule for me. So it's done making the presets. That's great. And now it's going to create a new rule. And by the way, we can take a look here and see that it created a dark brown button preset. So it made presets out of all these elements and their styles, and now it created a rule, and I can check out the rule here. It says to, whenever using a text module or button module, to use these specific presets that it created. So now the next time I ask the AI to generate a section, it's going to use those presets for me. So that gives you a look at queued commands and rules. The next thing that I want to do is create a dark mode version of this section. So I'm going to tell the AI to duplicate the section and invert the colors. That way I have two versions that will add variation to my website. And I also want to add those to the library, so I'll follow up with the second request and tell it to save both of those sections to my library. So it's cloned the section and now it's going to invert the colors for me. There we go, it's inverted the colors, it looks great. It's using the same colors, and now I have a good light and dark mode section. And now it's going to save both of these to the library for me. And now it's done. I have my two sections, and for convenience, they are both in my library. I got my light and my dark mode. And of course, the AI can generate entire layouts at once. You don't have to go section by section. I was just doing that to showcase some of the other features, but let's give it a bigger challenge and have it generate an entire layout. So I'm just going to tell it to create this layout, and in this case, it's a home page for a winery, and this is the basic look we are going for. Okay, it's done generating the layout and it looks great. It took about 45 seconds, which is way faster than I could have done it, and it matched that reference image pretty much perfectly. Of course, it's using different photos, but the layout really does match. We have the same hero section, these three images, this section with the tan background, and then the footer. And this isn't the only way you have to work. You don't have to give it reference images. I was just doing that to showcase that it has the capability of seeing things, but you can also prompt it with text. You can give it very nuanced instructions about the structure of the design you're creating, along with brand guidelines, copy, and all that. It has a huge context window, and you can just tell it to make layouts and it's going to give you what you ask for. As you can see, the AI agent is very capable of creating layouts, editing existing layouts. You can tell it to change colors, create variables, create presets. It really can do everything you can do, but I haven't even scratched the surface of its full range of capabilities. And so we introduced a tools panel, and the tools panel lists all of the tools, aka skills or abilities, that the agent has access to, and you are going to be very impressed by just how much the agent can do. And by browsing these tools, it will give you some ideas about how you might use the agent to improve your workflow. So you can open up the different categories of tools and just see what the AI is capable of. For example, I haven't even touched on all of the UI tools. It can open, close, dock, undock, resize modals, create custom workspaces. You can obviously adjust global colors, but you can also adjust breakpoints and presets. It can do things outside the builder, like update your menu, update template assignments. It can go look at pages and get insight about your website. It can find stock photos. It can generate images using AI. And then on the module side, tons of tools for understanding your page, building your page. It can basically do anything you can do when it comes to creating designs. And then it also has tons of tools to understand what's happening. So to get the context it needs to make intelligent decisions. When you are using the agent, you can choose to use basically any model under the sun. We have a huge list of supported models here, and of course your mileage may vary. So we have recommended models here at the top that are more battle tested, and you can just choose the recommended option, which will automatically route each request to a model that we think is both price efficient and capable of fulfilling your request. Before I move on, let me give you a quick demo of some of those UI tools in action. So I'm going to tell the AI to open the inspector, open the command center, undock the command center, increase the size of the command center, and then update my current workspace. And it's already done. And if I refresh the page, you can see that my workspace has been updated. The inspector is open on the left by default. And if I open the command center, it's now undocked and the width and height has been increased. Another great feature we added is context. So you can type the @ symbol and it will bring up the context search, and you can very quickly add context to the chat, whether it be an element on the page, a preset, a variable, a canvas, or a specific tool that you know you want the AI agent to use. So for example, in this case, let's say I'm adding some buttons to the page and I want it to use a specific preset. I can just type in the preset I want it to use and say add a button. And now it's going to add a button, but it also has that context of the preset, so it knows that I want to use that preset. There we go, it added the button, it applied the preset, just like I asked. And there's a lot of ways you can use context like that. It's just very convenient to just type that @ symbol and add some context and make sure that the AI agent has what it needs to do what you want it to do. Another thing we added is scope. So you can click on any element on the page and you can see that element showing up in the chat window. And that means that the chat is going to be targeted at that element. And if you want to clear the scope, you can clear it. But if I want to, for example, change the styling of this image, instead of trying to explain to the AI which image I want to change, I can just click on the image and tell it to, for example, add a border and a box shadow. And now it knows which image I'm talking about without having to spell it out. And right away, it is able to fulfill my request without doing any kind of research. It only took a couple seconds. So it's super quick when you want to make targeted edits to particular elements. Something else we added, which are incredibly useful, are commands. Commands are saved prompts that you can execute quickly by typing /, typing in the name of the command and pressing enter. So there may be a lot of tasks that you find yourself performing often. For example, maybe you want to ask the AI to run some kind of cleanup phase on your design. Maybe you want to convert a block-based Divi 4 layout to Flex. Maybe you want to audit all the colors on your page and swap out static colors for global colors. Whatever it is, if you're doing it often, you can turn it into a command and then you don't have to type out that complex prompt again. To show you how it works, I will just create a very simple prompt. I'm often turning styles into presets, and instead of having to enter preset editing mode, come up with a preset name, save the preset and exit, I'll just have the AI do that for me. So I will create a new command and call it create preset. And I'm going to tell the AI to create a new preset from this element's current styles and give it an applicable name based on its modified attributes. And now when I click /, it opens up my command panel. I can type in the name of the command and then execute that command quickly. And there we go, it created the preset for me. So that's how commands work. You can create any command you like and then easily execute those commands by typing / and the name of the command. We also added a completely new way to use the agent, which is ask mode. There is build mode and ask mode. When you are in build mode, the agent will do things for you. And when you are in ask mode, it will help you and answer your questions. And what makes ask mode so powerful is that it has direct access to the wealth of knowledge that we have created over the years. It has access to all of the documentation in our help center, as well as thousands of what we call snippets, which are small pieces of knowledge that we use to quickly answer your questions when we're chatting with you on our website. So essentially, ask mode can give you help and support you just like we do, but right inside the builder and instantly. So for example, I could ask it about a recent feature. For example, how does aspect ratio work? in Divi. And you can see that the Ask agent is going to list documentation and list knowledge, and then once it finds applicable information, it's going to go get it for you and then formulate a response. And here's explained how aspect ratio works and how I can use Divi's aspect ratio and framing settings to frame my images. So there you have it. The Divi AI agent is coming, and it's simply incredible. It's incredible what it can do. It's incredible what it can do for Divi users. It's gonna give you the tools you need to be competitive in this new world of AI-powered web design, because everything is changing. It really is changing, and the interface of the future is this combination of the Divi 5 interface that gives you fine-tuned control, but the chat interface as your main interface for doing most of your work. And once you master that workflow, it's just an incredible unlock, and it's going to completely change the game. And we're really only getting started. We're about to launch the beta in the next week or two, and from there, it's just going to get better and better. And I'm really excited to see where things go. But what about you? Are you excited about what AI can do for your workflow? Are you excited about this new way to work? Do you think that this really is the future of web design? Let me know in the comments, and also do us a huge favor and like this video and subscribe. It really means a lot, and it helps get the word out about all the new features we're making. So I'd appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribed, and I'll see you soon for the AI agent beta launch, which is right around the corner.